Hello and welcome to Desert Planet 2. This one's gonna be between Voodoo and Zock. Zock is, of course, the first Voice of Reason Invitational champion. Voodoo didn't participate in that tourney. Hopefully, he does in 2 weeks. But he's definitely another player you would have to consider as a favorite. Definitely missed him this weekend. On this map, I guess you could say it's a turtle map. It's it's an interesting map, but actually looking at this could be an interesting place to drop some missiles or something. You can see these mountains are significantly significant features on this map. Yeah, and the game sound, for whatever reason, is quite a bit more loud on my yeah, hopefully it's not an issue. Hopefully the game sound to the mic is fine. People might be wondering why I always have so many issues with sound, because this is a completely different setup than the one I used for streaming. And when you have so many different setups and you keep messing with things, it becomes difficult. Here, wow, okay, Voodoo is going to pretend he's low and he's going to do a massive air assault. Single air factory from Zock, so both go on second air, but a lot more air planned for Voodoo. This is a significant amount of reclaim, but the expansion is critical because you can see 7 mass extractors in each one of these. Sorry, 6, I can't count. Also reclaim in the middle, a couple of mass extractors there, and losing one of these expansions is not something that you'd want to have happen to you. Basically a third of your economy. So 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, and another 4 in the middle to fight over. Plus, there's 6 Hydras. This nominally a 3 versus 3 map. So, given that both players go in Cybern, both have access to Jesters, which on maps like this could be very potent. And then, if you do go for trying to attack and take one of these expansions away, you don't want to overextend, because with all the reclaim in the beginning, it is possible to tech up quite a bit, and taking up 3 of your 6 mass extractors is equivalent to grabbing an extra expansion. So if you lose an expansion, and don't give it up, so that the enemy doesn't build on it, but you build up 3 tech to mass extractors while your enemy was expanding their forces, you're pretty much still even in terms of eco. Plus, when you take back your expansion, you're going to reclaim a whole bunch of mass from your enemy. Nice bomb, that's critical from Zock. Some good bombing. This is not like Lucian a little while ago. Oh, that would have been nice. You see the interceptor on the case from Voodoo. Yeah, I can see both players expanding to the same side. We may or may not see a battle. It's typically pretty straightforward to cover these 4 passages. Tech 1 point defenses, things like that. Drops may become important. Looks like Zock is going to win that battle. This engineer has made it for Zock. And another expanding engineer to the top. Zock is significantly ahead now in terms of mass. You can see the lack of engineers in the expansion for Voodoo, who has the exact same power. So overall, things not looking too good for Voodoo. Zock playing extremely well, and he has enough mass to upgrade a mass extractor. He also has enough power to upgrade a mass extractor. It takes 60 power, I believe. Is he upgrading one yet? Don't believe he is. Still, oh, it looks like, yeah, still just a single air factory for Voodoo. 2 Manti waiting for any engineers trying to grab mass. And up on top, who's going to have the better micro? It looks like Voodoo attempted. but one mantis each. This mantis full health though. And another good raiding group coming in. This could be bad for Zock. Zock expended very quickly, but these engineers have no protection. So this could be a way to get back into this game for Voodoo. Well, I gotta say, it's been a bit disappointing so far. A lot of land factories being built here, minus 60. Tech 2 mass ejector upgrade started by Voodoo. It looks like Voodoo will save that. Scout was killed. This point defense will be critical for Zock. If Voodoo can kill that engineer before he finishes the point defense, it will be an issue. Another rather large mantis force in the middle for Zock. And here it might have an engineer battle. Power is very even. Voodoo still behind by a couple of mask extractors. But I think if he took care of that engineer, and if he can kill a couple of these mask extractors, although good recovery with these manti who are running in one by one. Oh, and you can see what Zock's trying to do. He's using the manti to finish that point defense. It's a great thing about manti. All you gotta do is start something and they'll finish it. 7 manti versus 6 manti. But in terms of micro, I think those 6 are a lot more focused. See, it's now 5 versus 5, 5 versus 4. But I think with a little micro, Voodoo could have done a lot better. I think he might still actually, yeah. Oh, but so many more units now for Zock. Zock spamming quite hard, and it looks like a drop. Imagine you probably drop right there. Point defense is finished. And both players are now even on mass. Looking at the reclaim for Voodoo, 3,300. 3,700 for Zock, who's got always so much mass in the bank. See this going up to Tech 2. Zock once again ahead. And in terms of, okay, this is a pretty good looking force. There is also some artillery here, so you can take care of the situation. And these engineers, wow, those hit the mantis in the head. Yeah. See a lot of red moving out though. Voodoo, yeah, he'll be forced to pull back. There's a lot of reclaim here as well. Looks like the Medusa's going to work very slowly. As Zock is taking over the middle, he might be threatening Voodoo's right expansion. And now Voodoo, the Medusa, one more shot, maybe. Yeah, the point defense is dead. Right, Voodoo retreats. Let's actually look at the Tech 2 mass extractor counts for these two players. 2 for Voodoo, whose commander is under attack. I think it's a couple more for Zock, just 3 for Zock. And I think in terms of reclaim, in terms of all the battles, majority of them have happened here. And I think once Zock recovers, he's going to get a nice prize, as Zock has got a couple of really nice raiding groups moving in, which are going to do damage. One of the critical things in this game, which really separates a lot of people, is to know when to raid and whether or not a raid is successful. How do you define that? Like, for example, here, those mantis look good. They forced a reaction out of Voodoo, but really all they did, they left a whole bunch of reclaim. They did not kill any mask extractors. Over here they've killed a mask extractor, but now they're going to die to gestures. They're going to leave a lot of reclaim for Voodoo. So was this successful or not? So there's a number of components to that. One of them is that what kind of reaction you get from your enemy. These are not free units that Voodoo is now using over here instead of attacking with them. So it's a concept of offense versus defense, and the best of defense is offense. Don't want to screw that one up. But then the other one is how much damage do you do to the enemy base, and the reclaim is the thing that really screws things up, because there's no obvious way to say whether or not an attack was successful, because it depends on what are the total economies of the two players, how quickly the player can recover, how quickly the player can get that reclaim. As now we have Tech 2 Air from Zock. Tech 2 Air from Cybern means that a snipe is definitely a possibility, given that Voodoo's here all alone at 10,000 health. Also Tech 2 Land. See, maximizing this adjacency. -8. -8. What is the typical? Without adjacency, this usually takes 9. So a little better. As we're seeing rhinos. Jesters now, after finishing up their defensive work, Voodoo is now already, with his engineers, going to get that free mass. The Jesters are going to come in. We're going to see an air battle. Each one of these 50 damage per second. Each one of those, I guess, 2 Jesters together, 100 damage per second. 600 health, 60. So it's 6 seconds per mass extractor. As I'm not sure who's going to win that one. I think Zock might have a better micro there for a second, although he just stopped. Voodoo wins the micro war. That's a Tech 2 supporting factory. It's going to take a little while to kill with a couple of Jesters. And in the middle we got a Tech 2 engineer for Zock. He can throw down a Tech 1 point defense, a couple of Tech 2s, cruise missile launcher in there. And having position like this is very nice. But very good looking radar. Positioning of radar is critical. For example, this radar for Zock is giving him a lot of important intel. He's got the early warning. Oh, Tech 2 flak here from Zock. Yeah, Voodoo needs to get out of there. See, 4 kills. The Jesters had a really nice party there. And once again, what we gotta look at, a whole bunch of dead, well, 3 dead mass extractors. The factory is also dead, so it'll be much more difficult to get engineers here for Zock. But then we also have to include the fact that there's now a whole bunch of reclaim. Tech 2 gunships for Zock going on an assault. Voodoo needs to go home, get some shields on his ACU. Although, yeah, these Tech 2 gunships, that's 400 mass shot out of the air. This is 400 mass right here. Cybern gunships, you can see why they're so awesome. They got a lot of splash on their guns. I believe it's also 50 damage per second, but that damage can be dealt to multiple units. These are especially good against engineers that are supporting factories. See the air response. 6 kills, 7 kills. Yeah, I think that made enough difference that now this force from Zock will be significant to be able to defend against Voodoo. I've also seen a lot of Tech 2 land being produced by Zock. I haven't really seen it in too much action. Not sure if I missed it or not, but now we do have Jesters going against rhinos. Well, that's a critical engineer that's going to be killed. There's once again, if Voodoo can kill those 2 engineers, which he won't, looks like there's a recovery for Zock up top. Voodoo has now caught up on mass. Imagine he's got 7,500 reclaimed. Zock has 8,300, about to get more. In terms of power, Zock is slightly ahead. And the air battle continues, although I keep on hearing flak. And that Tech 2 engineer trying to get a Tech 2 point defense. Yeah, this is nice. This is a good looking base for Zock. Tech 2 point defense. He's got to have a Tech 2 flak. Oh wow, this is a good looking gunship force. It has the same damage per second as a Harvey, much faster, and it's got splash. Is that a Tech 2 mass extractor? Amazing how close these 2 players are in terms of the mass income. And drops going to be assembled. That's 4 rhinos. That's a force to be respected. That's a Tech 2 transport. It's always nice to throw in some stealth fields in that. And now we're going to see this base. Will it be able to defend? I remember back in Tunnelation when I was like 10 years old, playing Tunnelation, and they had those Tech 2 laser towers. This is the closest unit to that, I think, in Supreme Commander Forge Allies. Those are my favorite. Of course, those are green. Yeah, I think not enough here. I really like the way this base looked, but this force was just too big. Voodoo. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Does Voodoo know? He should have. It was on his radar. And this is what we're seeing. Simultaneous attacks from Zock up on top. 4 rhinos. Okay, this is now 400 damage per second from these lasers. This is quite devastating from Voodoo. Voodoo might be focused here, but there's nothing he can do to save the top. Is there some Tech 2 flak here? If there's some Tech 2 flak mixed in, yes there is. It's almost dead. I think it may have been targeted. It is now dead, so there's only Tech 1 flak to protect against gestures. Meanwhile, the rhinos have already killed the Tech 2 mass extractors. Voodoo's ACU is on the case. Mobile missile launchers. Nice splash damage. And now I gotta say, Zock really taking over this game. You can see his mass continues to go up, but a complete loss of a base. We'll see how quickly Voodoo can recover, if he can recover. If he can't, then I think this might be a fatal blow. A great overcharge, 3 kills. So Voodoo killed all those rhinos, but was only going to have 1 wreck to reclaim. 2 Tech 2 mass extractors killed by Zock. And it now actually no, this force might still be alive. I think there is no Tech 2 here except the mobile missile launchers. These rhinos, very interesting micro here by Zock. He's keeping Tech 1 ahead, protecting his Tech 2. Rhinos aren't really known for their range, but you want to protect them relative to your Tech 1. And an absolute devastation. A single rhino still there might be able to protect against engineers. And this engineer is in the corner. You don't want to lose that, as a gunship is going to come in and clean up. Very peaceful in Zock's base. And yeah, that last move here, simultaneous drop together with an assault on the top. This situation really sucks now for Voodoo, who is still recovering on his other expansion. Another drop coming in. Another couple rhinos. I'm also seeing Tech 2 air and a lot of gestures. And here we also have a Corsair. Corsair is pretty good against groups of units. It's got some flash. Successful drop from Zock. Throw down a couple point defenses, get some free mass. And yet another drop. Yeah, I don't know if he wants to go into that cloud. I think that will die. Gunships coming in from Zock. Zock's NGs were killed. Yeah, that drop was not successful, I think. That's what's left of it. We're gonna see a very big air fight, which I think if Voodoo loses this air fight, this is gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be over if he does. And yeah, I think Zock had numbers, and he had superior micro in that case. Tech 3 land. The Loyalists. Interesting name for a rebel faction, a Cybern. They got Loyalists to the Tech 3 stage very quick. multiple Tech 2 P-gens. The ACU for Zock's at Tech 2. So now what we have here for Voodoo is a whole bunch of free mass. Looks like he was able to take care of all the Tech 2 gunships from Zock. There's also a transport standing by. Yeah, but now at the Tech 3 land stage, it's going to be very difficult for Voodoo. We got a few loyalists. They got a whole bunch of Tech 1 garbage ahead of them. I think they might be able to take on this force. I don't think they have anything to fear, except maybe a couple of Corsairs. More gunships coming in. Can't remember what the damage per second is on the loyalists, but you can see it's quite high. And their health is 3,000 versus only 274. Here come the Corsairs. Yeah, the Corsairs did a good job, but of course they do not have air cover, and there's plenty of air for. Okay, this flak from Voodoo might be able to get something. Drop coming in for Zock, trying to get free mass. A loyalist still alive. They did lose a couple. Two of the Corsairs. So I guess one thing I mentioned earlier in this cast was micro. I think I did. I don't remember what I said, but I think from what we've seen so far here, micro is quite critical. How the different units interact. But we can't say it's more critical than economy, and we can't really say that economy is more critical than micro. So it's a very nice balance that we have today in Forged Alliance. Yeah, massive air spam. Remember in the beginning we saw Voodoo planning these 3 air factories. I thought he was going to get them faster, but what we're seeing here 22 minutes later is pretty big dominance in air from Zock, dominance on land, and this is not what you want to happen. Ideal assault from anybody is when you kill the enemy, kill all their engineering, and then have your engineers in that place. That's really how you want to have it planned, where you have your initial assault, you have something else going on that your enemy can't see, and then a transport standing by with engineers where you clean up. Because if you assault and then you let your enemy clean up, it's much less effective. As gunships going against mass, will that finish its upgrade in time? It did. Didn't really matter though. Ideal time to kill something. Yeah, after 22 minutes I think this game is basically a foregone conclusion. Zock continues to dominate. I think based on what I've seen the last few days, I gotta say Zock is the top player in the game right now. We'll be up to Voodoo, Zlo, Lucian, who was shown quite a bit of rust, Blackheart, Pecherico, to try to take that title away from Zock. I guess the question is, why is Zock so good? Because Voodoo just, that's the thing, people just don't look that good against him. Bricks, 300 damage per second. Oh, that's a nice overcharge. We're going to see an overcharge here against Voodoo. Yeah, great overcharge from Voodoo. It's the power of an ACU. And one thing to notice, even though that brick got overcharged, the wreck's still there. Also these. And Voodoo, after taking care of that Tech 3 force, throws in the towel after 25 minutes. Hopefully people enjoy this one.